In today's video, we're staying at the 5-star luxury Tokyo Edition Toranomon Hills. We'll see the room, the food, the views, and we'll also check out a 13-course Michelin Star crab dinner. At the end of the video, I'll talk about how much everything cost. But first, let's get checked into the Tokyo Edition Hotel, which is located in the World's Gate building in Tokyo. When we first walk in, we're greeted on the main level. This is where they take your luggage. But in order to get to the actual lobby, we'll have to head on up to the 31st floor. Now, the reason why I actually want to stay at this hotel is it was designed by one of my favorite architects, Kengo Kuma, a very prominent Japanese architect whose design style really is the perfect mix of contemporary design, Japanese aesthetic, and of course, natural elements. And I have to say that the Tokyo edition definitely did not disappoint on the design front. It is pretty damn nice in here. But of course, the best part about this hotel for me is definitely the view. And I have to admit that I forgot to order tickets for the Shibuya Sky Bar, so I was a little bit disappointed in that. But after seeing the views at this hotel, I really don't feel like I need to go to Shibuya Sky Bar anymore. Unfortunately, our room wasn't quite ready when we got there, so we decided to hang out at the lobby bar for a little bit. We ordered a couple of cocktails, had a couple of snacks. It was, of course, pricey, but that's to be expected at a 5-star luxury hotel like this. And with 3 cocktails down and 6,200 yen spent, it was finally time to check into our room. We're staying on the 35th floor in room 3536. We got really lucky because we got upgraded to a Tokyo Tower room, so that was definitely a really nice, pleasant surprise. I always get really excited whenever I get a hotel room upgrade. The room is about 452 square feet or 42 square meters. There's a TV above the large minimal style desk, which I definitely will not be using for work. I'll most likely just pile clothes on top of it. And directly across from the desk is a king-size bed. As someone who grew up sleeping in a single bed their whole lives, being able to sleep in a king-size bed will always make me feel really, really spoiled. Alright, it's time to check out the bathroom now, which is separated by a beautiful wall of wooden slats in true Kengo Kuma style. Now, this bathroom doesn't have a door in it, so you probably don't want to be sharing this room with grandma, but what it lacks indoors, it well makes up for in counter space. There's only one sink, but I'd rather have more counter space than 2 sinks anyways. The bathroom is also stocked with lavabo bath amenities, and right across from the vanity, there is a Japanese-style toilet in its own room like civilized human beings. To the left of the toilet room, we have a Japanese wet-style bathroom with a rainfall shower head, more lavabo bath amenities, as well as a natural stone bathtub. And across from our doorless bathroom, we of course have the minibar. The minibar is stocked with premium Japanese spirits, boxed water, tea, and of course a coffee machine. Down below, there is a mini fridge, which is stocked with more booze, and of course, non-booze or non-alcoholic drinks. And inside the closets are 2 robes, which cost 17,600 yen if you accidentally take one home. Of course, we gotta check out the view, which is the tower view room. I originally booked the city view room, which was a lot less expensive than this room, so I am very grateful that I got upgraded to the tower view room. This is exactly why you pay to stay at this hotel. Alright, we're gonna go check out the restaurant downstairs. It's called the Jade Room. It's supposed to be very, very gorgeous, the space, and the chef there is supposed to be a 2-star Michelin chef at his other restaurants in London and Abu Dhabi. Lunch is located in the Jade Room on the lobby level, and it's pretty easy to see why it's called the Jade Room. Like the rest of the hotel, it's definitely a beautiful space. The menu is created by Michelin star chef Tom Aikens, and it's a 4-course tasting menu based on Japanese and Western techniques. Total cost for 2 people, 19,600 yen. Alright, just in the elevator right now, heading back up to the room. Now that we're not in the restaurant anymore, here are my honest thoughts about it. The space is really, really beautiful. The staff was lovely, but the food is kind of a disappointment.
I was expecting more since the chef is supposed to be, this really big Michelin star chef. But yeah, there was just no wow factor for me, at least. Personally, I would say you can skip it. Afterwards, we decided to do a little bit of shopping in Ginza. It was pedestrian day, which was always really, really fun to be able to walk in the middle of the streets. It ended up being a lot colder in Tokyo than I was expecting, so I quickly picked up this jacket, which was thicker than the one that I bought. You can't really say you went to Tokyo unless you went to the massive 12-floor Uniqlo that they have in Ginza. Afterwards, I stopped off at my favorite matcha shop, Apoto Tea. They're originally from Kyoto, but they have a few branches here in Tokyo, and I decided to splurge on their most premium matcha, which was about 6,500 yen per tin, and each tin is 50 grams each. Alright, so we just went back to the hotel to drop off our things after shopping, and now we're headed out to dinner. There's this place called Ginza Kitafuku. It is a Michelin star crab place. They specialize in crab, and they make the crab for you in multiple ways. They do have a second location now, though, so we decided to try out their new location to see how it is. Hopefully, it's as good as the original. Shintomi Kitafuku seats about 8 people, but they do have private rooms for 4 people that you can book. Personally, I think it's best to sit at the bar though, because then you can watch the chefs work their magic in front of you. First up in our 13-course meal is shawamushi, which was served in a beautiful blue and white Japanese ceramic cup. If you've never had shawamushi before, it's a Japanese egg custard appetizer that is silky, silky smooth. For course number 2, we each get a single piece of chitoro sushi. Chitoro is a medium fatty tuna, and it is so, so tender. But the only thing better than a piece of chitoro sushi is course number 3, which we each get a single piece of otoro sushi. Otoro sushi is the fattiest type of tuna that you can get because it comes from the belly of the tuna. This definitely melts in your mouth, and in the good way. It's definitely one of the best sushi pieces I've ever eaten. And yes, there is a little bit of perfectly cooked sushi rice hiding underneath that tuna. And as we're finishing up our sushi, it's time for course number 4. Course number 4 is unagi or eel, and chef comes out with a Japanese hibachi grill. The eel is skewered and cooked over charcoal, and it's made in a way that's called natural eel, which means it doesn't come with that typical unagi sauce, which you're probably used to seeing at most restaurants. I actually really enjoyed it this way because I felt like you could really taste the flavor of the eel. It was really flaky, and a squeeze of lime really brought out some freshness. Alright people, it's now time for the star of the show, which is the Red King crab. Our Red King crab is 2.5 kilograms or about 4.5 pounds, and our friend here is going to make up courses 5 through 11 tonight. Alright, so a little bit of a trigger warning here. This might make some people squeamish, but they do process the crab right in front of you while it is still live. And I have to admit that even though I did have some feelings about this, the chefs are masters at their craft, and you definitely cannot question the freshness of the crab. I'm so sorry, crab friend, but you're also delicious, so I don't know what else to tell you. Alright, so now it's time for our first crab course, which, if you're keeping count, is course 5 of 13. It is crab sashimi. They take one of the crab legs and they serve it to us raw, of course. It's served with some yuzu sauce and a squeeze of lime, which help bring out the flavors. The crab leg was definitely very tender. It was obviously super fresh, and it had a little bit of sweetness to it. The next crab course, course 6 of 13, is crab cooked medium rare. We're given 3 pieces of the medium rare crab. Chef makes the medium rare crab by having a wooden basket that's topped with parchment paper, and the crab is placed inside where it's steamed for about 15 seconds. This has always been one of my favorite ways to have crab cooked because the slow, gentle heat and the moisture really help preserve the sweetness of the crab and keep it really tender. So the reason why we're given 3 pieces of the medium rare crab is because we're told to eat it 3 different ways. The first way we're told to eat it is just plain straight up, and it was obviously really good. It was meaty. The texture was actually more similar to lobster than it was crab. The flavor was definitely stronger than the sashimi crab, though. As for the second way, we're told to dip it in some of the yuzu sauce. The yuzu brought a lot of umami, which I know that word is so overused, but that's what it did. And then the final way was with a squeeze of lime, and I really liked this. This was my favorite of the three. I just love citrus, I love lime, I love the little bit of acidity it brought. Alright, so course number 7 isn't actually crab, it's actually eel. And I don't know how they did it, but this eel was juicy, like so tender and so flaky. It's served over sushi rice, and it was actually nice to have a little bit of a break from the crab extravaganza. For course number 8, we're back to the crab again, and this time we're gonna have the crab well done. It's made on the Japanese hibachi, and despite the fact that it's grilled over charcoal, there is absolutely no smokiness to it. We're given 2 pieces of the well done grilled crab, and we're told to eat it in 2 different ways. The first way that we're told to eat it is with a little bit of salt, and of course the salt definitely brings out the flavor of the crab. And the second way that we're told to eat it is of course with some yuzu sauce and a little bit of lime. Now, the well done crab was definitely the meatiest of all the crab legs, and if I had closed my eyes and tasted this, I would have sworn that this would have been lobster instead of crab. We're now about to have the final 2 crab courses, which will be made with the body of the crab. Apparently, it takes about 15 years to grow a crab of this size, and I'd be lying if I didn't say that I didn't feel a little bit guilty about that. But again, just tastes way too good. I don't really think I need to look it directly in the eye though. The second last crab course, course number 9, is a crab roll. Chef comes by and gives us each a sheet of nori, and then on top of the nori, he places some sushi rice. The sushi rice is then topped with a nice meaty piece of steamed crab, and then chef comes back and he starts grating some fresh sayo wasabi on top, aka western horseradish, but it definitely sounds so much more cultured saying sayo wasabi. Afterwards, we're told to roll up our own crab roll, which was pretty fun and interactive to do. The final crab course, course number 10, was the crab body, which was also grilled over the Japanese hibachi. It was then placed back into the body of the crab and served with a tamale, which added a lot of richness to it. Even though this was really good, I was definitely super full at this point, and we were definitely struggling to try and finish this. Unfortunately, Chef noticed that we're a couple of weaklings that were struggling to finish because, unprompted, he let us know that of the final 2 courses, only one of them could be taken home and the other one had to be eaten here.
うなぎライステイクアウト OK。サーモンライステイクアウトも。
Course number 11, the salmon roe rice, was the course we couldn't take home. This was really great, beautiful creamy texture, and the perfect amount of saltiness and sweetness. But we were so full, so we had to ask to take course number 12 home, the unagi rice.
Okay. So okay. Very good. Nice try. Yes. Thank you.
And then we were surprised with the 13th dish, which was a dessert. It was a Mont Blanc dessert, and this had a base of shortbread. It had chestnut mousse on the inside that was covered with chocolate dome, and then piped onto it was the sweet chestnut puree. And I guess what they say is true, but dessert, there really is a second stomach for it, because somehow I was able to eat this even though I wasn't able to finish the unagi rice or the salmon roe. This was definitely a 10 out of 10 though, and of course it gets the highest compliment given by any Asian person for a dessert, not too sweet. Total cost of the meal was 105,633 yen, by far one of the most expensive meals I've had. Alright, so we just finished. The place was absolutely incredible, but we were definitely defeated by that crab. We had to take the final course home, the unagi with the rice, but thankfully the hotel has a mini fridge, so we're just gonna store that in the mini fridge and eat it later. 100% recommend, just as good as their sister property, Ginza Kitafuku, which has the Michelin star. I wouldn't be surprised if this place gets its own Michelin star soon. But something that you should be aware of, the door is very discreet. We weren't even sure if it was the right place, but if you do a little Google Translate on the little bag back there on that wooden door, you will see it has the name of the restaurant on it.
次は霞ヶ関です。丸ノ内線千代田線はお乗り換えです。
All right, so we're just sitting down to breakfast right now. It is in the blue room, which is on the main floor. It's in the lobby. It's really, really beautiful in here. Menu seems to have a really good mix of both Japanese and Western options. We decided to get one Japanese breakfast set as well as one Western breakfast set because we want to try a little bit of everything. And it was really, really good, thankfully, unlike that disappointing lunch that we had in the Jade Room the other day. Normally these breakfast sets are 6,300 yen each, but they were complimentary since I have platinum status with Marriott. Of course, the only thing better than the food though was definitely the views. So if you didn't get a tower view room, definitely check out the breakfast in the blue room and you can get the views from there. Alright, so we are checking out this morning, so I thought I would talk a little bit about how much it costs to stay here at Tokyo Edition Toranomon Hills. So I originally booked the City View room, which is kind of like their standard entry-level kind of a room, and that was $783. I did get upgraded to the Tower View room, which had that incredible view, and that room typically could range anywhere between $1,000 to $2,000 a night, depending on if it's high season or not. I did receive a complimentary upgrade because I have platinum status with Marriott, which also included the complimentary breakfast every morning, as well as you have the potential for an upgrade if they have availability or not, and you can also get late checkout. That being said, if you do not have status with the hotel, what you can do is you can book through a program called Marriott Stars, and all you have to do is go onto Google and Google Marriott Stars Travel Advisor. I'm sure a million of them would come up. And if you book through one of those advisors that are part of the Marriott Stars program, you can get all those benefits that a person with status with the hotel would get. But I actually think it's even better than having the perks that the people with status have, because in addition to that, you'll also get a $100 US credit for use at the hotel. So you could use it at their restaurants, their bars, the spa. If they have a spa, they do have a spa here, but I didn't check it out on this trip. There is no cost to book through the travel advisors. You will pay the same price that you would pay if you were to book directly through the hotel online. So that is just a really great way to get a couple of extra perks if you want to stay here.